Hello guys and welcome, my name is Craig and this is No Factor Garage. Behind me, it's a 2004 Dodge 3500 with a 5.9 Cummins diesel engine in it. Today, as you guys saw in the title, we're going to be doing a custom exhaust from the turbo back for this truck. So, this truck has currently 538,000 miles plus. The owner has determined that they're going to try and keep this truck as long as possible, which with a Cummins well kept, you should be able to reach 1 million miles on it. So the truck's still got 400,000 plus miles on it. So let's walk around. I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like starting up, and I'm going to show you the issues where it's broken, and we're going to go from there. I'll show you guys even the mileage on it.
All right, guys, as you can see, the exhaust is quite missing. I broke off right here, so we're going to go ahead and get it the entire way. Now, in the state that this truck is in, you have state inspections, and part of that is your exhaust has to be past the cab of the vehicle, so it just beats it by about 2 inches. Alright guys, it's got 538,772 miles. Not bad.
Alright guys, so I figured I'd show you what I have to work with. This is a stainless steel kit. It's 4-inch diameter. Comes with a 90. I'm not sure what that is, 180. That might be like a 23. One straight piece. So that's the kit. Then I also ordered two straights. And then the exhaust, so that'll help with that. Over here on the parts, I've ordered 4 of these. These are V clamps, so they clamp together, and they're held together with this band, and they meet up very nicely. And these will slide over the exhaust piece like that, so you can have 2 pieces line up like thus. Very nice. Hanging bracket, stainless steel, and the rubber. The only thing I'm going to tell you guys is that when it came to the stainless steel, I just wanted to make sure that it was all the same grade, which now I can't remember what it was, but it's all the same stainless steel grade. Alright, so underneath the engine on the passenger side, behind the airbox, you have the turbo on this 5.9. Turbo exhaust portion of the turbo. Trying to get a good shot. Down section, and then right there, that's where the exhaust starts. So we're going to come down here, disconnect there, and then take whatever's left from that far back off. So I said a full stainless steel exhaust from the turbo back. I don't think that's actually going to happen. I've got 2 things that I'm looking at, and you're looking at it too. This is the first one. This is the flange that connects
on the back to bottom side of the turbo. So, and looking at that, this is my closest piece to work with next to this turbo, which looks like it'll fit right there. I actually have almost 3 bins that are happening here. So I've got a bin that comes down, and a bin that twists that way, and another one that goes that way. So I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. What may end up happening is I'll just cut it right there where this is, so it'd be from about there up.
I'm gonna TIG weld this together. I think it's gonna work just fine. I currently have my bottle over here, gas coming in. I'm gonna let this purge for about 5-10 minutes. I get tin foil on this end because it's tin foil. Exhaust hole vent, probably don't need that since there's such a crack here quite yet, but I'm putting in here, I'm at 10 CFH, so I'm gonna let this sit for about 5-10 minutes, let all the argon hopefully get in here, get all the oxygen out, and then we can weld this thing all around. Trying to figure this out. So this would go right over the extra, really nice. It's actually underneath the truck right now, so just imagine with me here for a little bit. This is the exhaust. It's straight, muffler, it's coming straight off. The axle's right here. This works great except for we have this gap. So I've been thinking about this, trying to figure out how I want to do this. Reality is I wish I had a couple more pre-bent parts that I can mess with, because I believe the first part that I used, that was like a 30, I wish that I had 2 of those, because I think those would work really good right here. Have a one right here, it would swoop, pivot up, come up, could weld those 2 together, and then come down here and do another one. Unfortunately, I don't have that, and I don't want to go spend any more money if I can get away with not doing it. So this is my only other part with this, which is a shoe horse, which I was thinking, well, maybe I could use this, right? But not really. Once again, I'm almost even better with 45 than this 180. I think I've got the idea. There's the exhaust muffler. I'm gonna put this right here. Alright? And then I'm gonna come in here and put this about here, And right about here, which is the halfway, I'm going to cut down through both of these. So right where this kind of necks and is going about that direction up, I'll do a cut, and then I'll come back here and I'll do a cut. So this will line up roughly how I need it to. But I think that's the best option I have for doing this. Having one of these cut, if I cut it something like that, I still have the other end of the pipe, or I can go ahead and cut similar, the same process, and then I can take this piece and rotate it and put it onto this far piece. So this bend is going to consist of these two pieces. That's the best I can come up with for what I have. So this is what we're going to do, I think. I'm going to let it sit for a second, mull it over. Alright guys, this is the most from the hip shooting I'm doing. I don't really have any other way to saying it. I wish I had a bandsaw where I could put this in and cut it that way, but I don't. So it is what it is. Just kind of marking like that. That is all I have to go off of. The line in this situation is very much a rough guide. The most critical spot is here to here, where I was able to make that. So what I'll do is I'll put this on a flat level surface, and I'll go down, and I'm doing this with a grinder, angle grinder I guess. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that grinder and put it right there. Try and make sure the blade's not twisted either way, so it's straight up and down. And I'm going to go down one side, spin around, go down the other side, flip it over, and connect the two. Well, this is where I've got, or where I'm at. Now, there's quite a bit of a gap here, and quite a bit of a gap here. And that's because when this tube is bent, it does lose a little bit of its actual shape. Now, if I were to come from here and work my way back, if I were to cut here and here, it wouldn't be that much of a bend, a loop over, but I would also be in this crush zone. I don't think you guys can be able to see it, but right here just gets a smidge smaller, and right about there I believe it gets a smidge bigger. So those are bigger than the rest of this. Very small. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this out, set it up, and see how it looks underneath the truck. If it looks good, I'm going to come back and weld it up. So this is how I prep my surfaces before I weld. Take a can of acetone and I'll wipe down all the materials. Inside and outside. Go. Go. Start dirt on this inside. There we go. Alright, so that's all wiped down like I need it to be. I'll also take
my filler rod and do the same stuff with it. Make sure my filler rod's clean. The cleaner my filler rod is, the cleaner my weld puddle should be. I'm set up for back purging, but I'm really not quite sure what good it's going to do with this setup. So I think I'm just going to do try and do the smallest tack right here, and then we'll try and do some small tacks here, get these joints all closed up. Before I start welding this solid, I'll back purge this system all at one time. Alright guys, I just finished welding this section. So it's got now over 8 feet, about 9 feet width of stainless steel exhaust. Just for reference, right now where I'm at in the project, it says 10 hours and 53 minutes. Pause that, and whenever I get to actually working on it again, I'll start it up again. I think, unfortunately, I have a little more of a rock there, a little more of an angle than I think I was attempting to get. I think it's a little less straight up and down than I was hoping, but that'll be fine. I can, because there's nothing else, just right up here at this V-clamp, I can rotate that to give me a little bit, but it's still sticking out a little bit farther that way than it was supposed to. Oh well. We'll just see how it works, see what we can do. Alright, problem is I need to attach that to the exhaust pipe. Either way. Right? So this is what I come up with. I took 2 plates, like I just showed you. Cut a hole in it. That'll go there. Followed by this top one right here. I'm going to take 2 more plates. Probably gap them right about there. One on top and one on bottom. I'm going to put this between a press, and I'm going to press these 2 together, and hopefully when I press the 2 together they will conform one, and it will bend this rod, and it'll probably be more of a bend like this. So bend in. Now before I do that, this is stainless steel, mild steel, because I'm an old hand railing guy. So what we did, I'm going to take stainless steel, I'm going to cut this down half, and then I'm going to split it in half, and I'm going to put one end around the press brake bottom portion, and then I'm going to take the other end and open it up and make a little cradle right there. I'm probably going to, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to step this out. This is pretty close, but it's off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some stainless steel, and I'll cut spacers to build my plates up. So that'll sit on. There'll be a spacer in between it. Same thing for the other side. Spacer, and then
Yeah, that should just about do it. So when it's done, it's gonna be something like this, except for these plates will probably be up higher. We'll make it easier too, because then this bar will sit in a little bit of a cradle. And then all I have to do is from this point, put this on top, and then dry that down. And bada bing, bada boom, I should have a bent bracket that hopefully will semi go around this round exhaust pipe. I'm not counting the hours I'm putting into this, because it's not the customer's fault that I don't have this tool. But once it's done, I should be able to use it to make other exhaust brackets out of stainless steel, as it's so needed in the future. All right, so here it is. That's what I came up with. Well, so I finally have the brackets on. So it is officially done. Are they the prettiest welds ever? Nope. Are they going to last the rest of the truck? I sure hope so. I know exhausts are quite punished by all the vibration they have to go through. As of right now, the rubber mounts on the truck are in extremely good condition, so I haven't even touched the ones that we bought for this project. I'm gonna let this cool down, and then I'm gonna install this, and I'll go from there. Okay, so there's apparently enough of the bends that Cadillac converter gives that I have to do something different. It can't just be a straight pipe, so I cut myself out a little section. I'm gonna squeeze this together, and that's basically what I can come up with for what's happening. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find something to clamp on the bottom, come over here with a little wedge, and as I tighten it up, it'll push that over. Well, that's definitely interesting. I'm using a Wonder Bar to hold that down. The system's not back purged, so alright everyone, so we'll be doing some after tests. So this is us just running on the road after the exhaust has been changed. All right, guys, that's it. I'm calling it. I think we're done. Another successful welding job on an exhaust. I do way too many of these. So, was it worth it? Well, all the parts added up, it equaled somewhere around less than $430 if I'm not mistaken. And then there's the labor, which was 15 hours roughly. It was a little bit more between 1520 and 1530 hours, but let's just call it 15 hours. Then the consumables. I have no idea how much I spent on stainless steel wire. I do know that I basically went through 2 tanks, 2 80 cubic tanks of argon. To add both of those up, that equals about $116 worth of argon. It's like $50, and then to refill it, and there's $8 of tax because of government. If you were to take this somewhere and get it done, and they were to do 15 hours worth of work, which obviously a shop set up for exhaust would have had tools available to them. So they would have maybe been able, if they had a mandrel bender to bend the pipe, might have been able to start out with just a whole bunch of straight 4-inch exhaust pipe and bend that into the shapes that we needed. With that there being said, I also took plus about a day's 8 hours to figure out how I was going to do this. The counting, I didn't count that as the hour rate working on this truck, because that is a tool that I will use later on in life. If you took it to a shop, they're probably going to charge you about $100 an hour at minimum for doing a stainless steel exhaust like this. With 15 hours, that's $1,500 plus the $400 in materials. They might make it a little bit cheaper. They might add on just so they make money off of the material itself. Plus the argon, you're probably looking at about $2,200 to $2,000 for this exhaust. With the out shelling right now of 400 and what I say, 420, 430 bucks, well ahead. If you were to do this yourself, right, you were to do this in your garage, you wanted to practice your TIG welding on a exhaust pipe, you want to do stainless steel, I would surmise that you could do this whole thing for less than $1,000, assuming that you basically have the same setup I do. You could probably do it for about $700. There you go. All right, guys, thank you for watching.